What's going on, paranormal world? Last week's episode of Ghost Adventures took place in Virginia City, Nevada, and it seems like this is probably the most investigated place by the Ghost Adventures crew out of all of the locations. But this episode starts off with this Mark Twain narration by this old man spewing things about the correlation to this haunted city. And while the narration was going on, the Ghost Adventures crew was doing their slow motion walk up the hill. And honestly, it looked like they were walking to have a tag team match. But anyway, I miss those opening segments like that because we need to see more of that moving forward in the future. And it gave me those vibes of the older episodes of Ghost Adventures, if you get what I'm saying. So, Territorial Enterprise. This place is where they used to print off newspapers written by Mark Twain. And Mark Twain used to write for them for a long period of time. And basically, this place is a museum and has all the original objects from way back then. Even the very desk that Mark Twain wrote on is still in that building. But that's not the creepy part. The owner of this establishment shows Zach a mummified body in this building. Now that's creepy, just keeping that around. So I can only imagine how much energy that's bringing in just in that one location. Also, one of the previous owners told the current owner that it's a portal in this building. And she said that this portal sends the spirits upwards. Now, that kind of confused me and I really didn't understand that. But regardless, if it is a portal in that building, I'm pretty sure they don't want to mess with it. But with all this paranormal activity present in this building, and people want to know why they keep getting pushed, followed, and hearing all these voices in this building. But after that short introduction to the Territorial Enterprise building, so the Ghost Adventures crew go to another building, Knights of the Pthese. Apparently, this building has a dark history involving a secret society. Death, resurrection, and immortality was heavily influenced here, and people have been attacked here very, very often. So Zach Bagans put an emphasis on these two locations, Snowstorm and all. He says that it will be a double lockdown. And I'm gonna be honest, this episode really didn't have anything going for itself. I feel like they did these two separate locations because the Mark Twain building was so small that you really couldn't get a full night investigation there. And it really wasn't that much history for you to be investigating there, to be honest. But they had a great setup for the beginning of the episode, and it was just an epic letdown. So much potential. And the thing that gets me about this episode was the overreactions by the entire Ghost Adventures crew whenever they hear an EVP. They go crazy like it's the first time ever they heard an EVP before. And this episode had a lot of vocal EVPs, probably the most of any recent episode. And I think the best EVP in this episode came when a spirit said Aaron Goodwin's name. But other than that, I mean, you just had the typical stuff. Aaron Goodwin and Billy, they went to the Enterprise building by themselves and conducted their investigation. And I noticed something. Have y'all ever noticed that it's always one person getting angry or one spirit latching on to one single person? It's never two at the same time, or it's never three getting angry at the same time. Like, I'm sure it's more than one entity at most of these locations that they go to. And they're just not going to affect only one person that way. I don't know. And which brings me to my next point about Billy. Since Billy was split up with Aaron, Billy played like he was getting angry and that something passed through his body that was causing him to react that way. And when all reality, if the crew was all together, it wouldn't be going down like that. Specifically if Zach was in the same building where Billy was. And it's like Zach and Billy, or even the others, never be angry all at the same time during the lockdown. It's just the little things like that that the fans need to catch on to. Like this, if you get what I'm saying. Maybe I'm confusing people, but really what I'm trying to break down is that it's basically a formula now with Ghost Adventures. But yeah, this episode was just a lot of light anomalies around Zach and the crew, along with a lot of EVPs, and I mean a lot of EVPs. And that's about it for this episode. Nothing really exciting, and it was boring after the first 20 minutes. Overall, this is definitely a skippable episode, so I watched it so y'all don't have to. So what do you all think about this episode? Let me hear your honest thoughts down below. And if you love anything paranormal discussions, anything horror movie related, then make sure you check out some of my videos. And if you enjoy them, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button so you can see every time I upload. As always, be safe. Peace.